them how to shop for food and pick out, appropriate food items and things like that. And we actually have them do recipes and recipe cards, and again, encourage them to be a part of exercise. We're not picking on just kids that are overweight. We're picking on all of them, because the skinny kid today can become the obese kid tomorrow. The obese kid now can become the skinny kid later. So this is it's novel in its approach, that we're not just targeting obese kids. It's all kids, because we want everybody to be healthier. So how'd I get there? Hard work. Work is hard at times. Trust me. All right? I think you got to develop a reputation of being reliable, trustworthy, and valued. And value is kind of that quality aspect of things. So one of the things I tell you, roll up your sleeves, develop a reputation of being trustworthy and being valued and being reliable. You got to have an element of confidence, okay? And, I'll be honest, I've probably had overconfidence at times. I've probably had too much ego at times. Don't have that, okay? Temper it. Be humble. But you got to be confident in your ability, and make sure you have a good support network. So as you see there, my team, my family, my friends, and my employer have been really good at kind of providing me that confidence. But you also have to be confident in your faith in God. And as I spoke to a smaller group of people earlier, you're going to have to dial in your moral compass. And so I'm going to be truthful, and this story is going to shock you. I love to golf. I'm a huge golfer. Okay? I've actually got my clubs in the back of the car. And with weather like this, trust me, there's not a golf ball that I don't like hitting right about now. But I had a pharmaceutical rep come into the office one time, put down an invitation, and said, I'd like to invite you out golfing. And walked away. I went over, I opened up that invitation, and it was to a Mintz golf tournament. Mintz is a strip club in Canada. Wow. There were so many levels of wrong. I called this guy's district manager and said, hey, do you know your guy's doing this? Yeah. Wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. Okay? Now, one of my colleagues went. Some pictures were taken, and guess what? His life is heck now. He's ruined his life. When something doesn't feel right, it doesn't pass the smell test, you guys need to dial in that moral compass. And it's real, real, real important, okay? So, I know that's a tough story, but trust me, it's real important. You got to be careful your selection of influences and make sure that they're supporting you. Again, if there's people, I said earlier to a small group too, if somebody says to you, well, kind of take advantage of somebody, don't do it. Your moral compass has got to dial in. So, is it luck or is it God's plan? I would argue probably it's been God's plan. Some other thoughts. The only thing you can change in your life is yourself, okay? It's your attitudes. We can't change the price of gas, right? Can't change taxes. We can't change what the politicians are doing. Wars, things like that. All we can do is change ourselves and our attitudes. And make sure that you kind of understand that, because that's so key and so important. Another thing, when we give of ourselves, whether it's money, product, time, information, it adds value to you, okay? So, again, giving provides value. Successful people follow something greater than themselves. My wife told me early on in our marriage, the world does not revolve around you, okay? That's tough. You know what? 23 years later, we love each other dearly. She's right. This isn't about me. But how many times have we seen this? And I mentioned this again a little bit earlier. Let's take Tiger Woods. Top of the world. Most respected guy in golf, right? Now what? Done. Right? Okay. I won't beat that dead horse, huh? Being significant. Being significant means service. Give back. Okay? Doing things for people are one of the ways that you can really get value out of your life. So I wish somebody had said to me a little bit, more service, more give. Success comes through achieving goals. We get that, right? Everybody gets that. However, the secret is success helps you achieve significance. Significance. Remember, and what the significance is, helping people in beneficial ways, because it gives you the ability to branch out and take on more. So when we raise our branches out, what happens? We're open, right? And we're open, we can take in more, right? Because when I'm like this, I can't take on too much, right? I'm like this. Big difference. Identify your core values and stick with them, okay? Generosity is a wonder drug because it refocuses us to appreciate what we have, not what we don't have. If any of you have done service, you know what I'm talking about, okay? Focus in on what we have. Appreciate what you've got. Don't be angry about the stuff you don't have. All right, this is for my pre-med guys, and this is my own rule up top. Treat every patient like you want your mom treated, your dad treated, your brother treated, your wife treated, your sister, your daughter, whatever. And I will tell this to you that aren't in pre-med. Do that in the business realm too. Treat people, it's a golden rule, right? Yeah. Take that one step further. If you are a patient, make sure that your doctor feels this way, because I think it's key that the doctor invests himself in you, taking care of your problems, your concerns, okay? Another important thing is being able to listen. If you're a Bible scholar in James 2:18, if I remember correct, is we've got 2 ears and 1 mouth, right? So we should listen twice as much as we speak. Okay? Process what you're hearing and return it in a meaningful way. Hear the essence of people and what they're about. Okay? Really get at the essence of them and who they're about. And process that. And validate their emotions. Okay? That's one of the bedrocks of medicine, is really validating a person's emotions. Okay? When I'm telling somebody they have cancer, guess what? The minute I give that news, they shut down. I need to understand that, and I need to work through that with them. And I need to process their emotions and validate them. When you do, you're going to bond and partner. And I put that word partner there is the key. This is partnership in most circumstances. This isn't dictatorships. Okay? And I hate physicians who are dictators. You need to do this. You need to do that. No. I'm partnering with you on getting a successful health outcome. That is key. People don't change on what they know. They change based on the way you make them feel. Okay? How many people I've told that have had diabetes, cholesterol issues, high blood pressure issues, you need to eat right, you need to exercise. They have that knowledge, right? That doesn't mean they're changing. Okay, and I've been that way too. But you know what? They change on how they feel. So that's one of the keys. Another thing is concentrate on health. And health is the spiritual, the emotional, and the physical. It's not just physical. It's not just spiritual. It's not just emotional. It's everything, okay? Very, very important. I really firmly believe in the next bullet point. We spend so much time in medicine, and one could argue we do this in society and business too, but I'll at least pick on medicine for a second, towards the reactive. Somebody has a heart attack, we do something. Somebody has diabetes, we do something. Somebody has an infection, we do something, okay? We need to be proactive. What could we have done so they didn't have the infection, so they didn't have the heart disease, so they didn't have the diabetes, so they didn't have the high blood pressure? Focusing more on the proactive rather than the reactive. And on the bottom there, you'll only be accomplished at something you truly love. And, you know, some of you guys, again, heard me briefly in a small group earlier. Passion, passion, passion. Be excited about what you do. Every single day when you wake up, be happy about your job. Be excited. Because really, truly, when that passion's there, it comes out. And pursue what you love doing and do it well. I said that earlier, right? We're almost done because it is hot in here. Okay, you guys are thinking the same thing I am. Work can be demanding, frustrating, difficult, tiring, stressful, consuming, especially in medicine. Don't let your job consume you. Again, don't let your job consume you. When it consumes you, you have less of you to give to others. And I'm a very transparent person. I was not a great dad in the beginning of my career to my kids. My kids will argue differently now. But because I was cranking, I was in those hospitals taking care of patients, being on call, working the ER, all that kind of stuff. And you know what? It started consuming me. I didn't have time to be with my daughter. So I missed some of those earlier days. A light bulb went off in my head to say, you got to change. You got to get it back. I got it back. I've seen some of the most spectacular soccer goals that my son's ever scored. I've seen my younger son, who's a football player, as a defensive end. He's not quite Mario Williams, but pretty darn close in the one game. He took care of a quarterback like I've never seen anybody take care of a quarterback. Just great, great, great stuff. I've hiked 82 miles over 10 days at Philmont Boy Scout Camp with he was 16 at the time, he's 18 now. I've gone on hikes and canoe trips with both boys. I've gone to New York City with my daughter. Cool, cool, cool stuff. Don't let your job consume you. Take the time. Which is the next one. Take the time out for you. You are important. You need to rest. You need to relax. You need a Sabbath. Pause on that. You need a Sabbath. Turn it off. Turn it down. Get away from it, okay? Because if you let it, it's going to eat you up, okay? So again, stuff I wish people had told me earlier. Give positively and it will be rewarded. If you're, you know, there's some terms out there, the law of attraction and things like that. You know, the more positive you are, I think the more positive energy that comes back to you. The more negative you are, sometimes the more negative comes at you. So really dwell on making things positive. Don't let things get to you. You know, sometimes just say, really, is that all that important? You know, a fight with a friend or, you know, something that, you know, snowstorm. Is it really that important? You can push the snow out of the way, right? We know that because we live here. And seek God often. Some final thoughts are more quotes. Life is not measured by the number of breaths we take, but by the moments that take our breath away. And really, truly think about that. It's not the huff and puff, the rush. It's really the wow. Okay? People will forget what you said, so tonight you'll probably walk out of here, forget everything they said, and that's all right. But people will never forget how you made them feel, right? You know? Again, words are words, feelings are feelings, and feelings are more etched in your soul. In the end, we have to do something to make others a little happier and ourselves happier. That positive thing, right? I'm happy, you're happy. To make others less happy is a crime. To make ourselves unhappy is where crime starts. How about that? Think about that. Pretty profound. We must try to contribute to joy in the world no matter what. Our problems, our circumstances, or our health. Okay? Always bring it on. Showtime. Finally, let's endeavor to live that when we die, even the undertaker is sorry. Yep, we don't want this guy to go away. I'm going to entertain questions, comments, and I figured that was appropriate to finish. So I'm going to roll up sleeves and loosen ties because I'm roasting. So questions, comments, emotions, you know.
Yeah, what is your approach to like giving a patient bad news? Like after you give them the bad news, how do you console them if you do?
Great question. So I'll repeat the question so everybody hears. Basic essence of the question is, how do you deliver bad news? Never easily. I think you have to put yourself in their shoes and come at it with, and facts are facts. So I had a guy one time with HIV after one inappropriate interaction with a lady that was bought. I said, here is the fact, you have HIV. That's not fun to say. HIV, we all know. I said, how does that make you feel now? Guy's crying, he's devastated, everything. We're going to do our best to work through this situation.